The issue of food losses is of high significance in the efforts to combat hunger, raise income, and improve food security in developing countries. Food losses have many consequences, such as having an impact on food security, on food quality and safety, on economic development, and on the environment. Although food losses can be influenced by many things, such as agricultural production, post-harvest handling and storage, processing and distribution, food waste itself is the most of concern in developed countries. Organic waste makes up most of a landfill, 28% being paper and cardboard, and another 28% being yard trimmings and food waste. Food that gets thrown away ends up in these landfill sites where, rather than decomposing naturally, as many people think, it actually rots and releases methane, a very powerful greenhouse gas. Primary consumers need to understand that it is not just the food itself that is being lost or wasted, but it is the energy, packaging, water, and human resources that are all being wasted in vain. About 1/3 of food that is produced for consumption by humans is lost or wasted globally, equivalent to 1.3 billion tons per year. 60% of this food that is being wasted is avoidable, meaning that it is food that was edible prior to disposal. In most cases, food waste in developing countries is lost during the early or middle stages of the food supply chain, whereas in developed countries, food waste occurs at the consumer level of the food supply chain. Developed countries throw away 222 million tons of food, which is almost the same amount that developing countries can even produce. Some countries' total net production being 230 million tons per year. Between 2010 and 2012, 870 million people were chronically undernourished, the vast majority of this number living in developing countries. The people that are most at risk for being undernourished and hungry are children. Undernourished children can be ill for 160 days or more each year and causes 5 million deaths every year. Although the consequences of wasting food may seem to be a problem in developing countries only, it could potentially be a problem for developed countries as well. If we do not start attempting to reduce our waste, it could be a global pandemic by 2050. By 2035, with the population inching towards 9 billion, the world will need 70% more food than it did at the beginning of the century. If we do not start doing something about this issue today, by 2050 production could end up slowing significantly, as we will need to double our production. In order to aid and attempt to reverse global food issues, the enhancement of public awareness needs to be addressed and further research needs to be done, especially if we want to feed a population of 9 billion people by 2050.